Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to my hobby blog. Today I'm really excited because I have a TBR list for the month, and this is not something I do regularly when it comes to reading because I don't like to do TBRs. I usually just go with the vibes, what my mood is. Sometimes I just want to read a sci-fi novel or read a fantasy or something else, a historical novel. But this month is going to be all fantasy except for like one of them. And the other one is one that will not be a surprise, but the first book, and this is one I've already started, but I'm hoping to finish it by next week, when the month has officially begun. But it is Janny Wurts' Curse of the Mistwraith. This is book 1 of the Walls of Light and Shadow series, which has a lot of hype on YouTube because book 11 just released and finished. This has been on my list for over a decade. I remember this was one of the series that I found on Reddit when I was sort of beginning my broadening of my fantasy reading, and I was always interested in this series because it sounds very epic. Each book is like 800 pages longer. The prose is incredible. The character work is really incredible. Just so many positives I've heard about. And I also really love watching interviews with Janny Wurts. There's a really great celebration of the latest book coming out in Walls of Light and Shadow. I believe Philip hosted that, or someone else had hosted it. I'm not sure, but he was involved. So I showed up, and I thought that was such a fun live stream. I learned a lot about the series that got me really interested in reading it. And so I was very lucky. There's a used bookstore tag right here. I was able to find the first 6 books at my local used bookstore. So I'm really happy that I was able to find about half of the series. So it's just on my shelf. I can just keep on reading. But it's really hard to find the later books. So I'm really worried about that. And especially because I have a lot of books on my TBR, and I don't know how long it'll take me to get through Walls of Light and Shadow, but I hope that I can get through it faster than a lot of series. I will expand on that later, but the next book that I want to read is book 5 of Dune, Heretics of Dune. I'm loving this series. If you want to know my thoughts, please watch my reviews. I love God Emperor. I think I like it more personally than book 1, but I really love the epic scope of book 1. I love the many different characters of book 1. So book 1 I think objectively is better, but God Emperor of Dune was my shit. It was my jam. I really, really enjoyed that book, but I've heard this book is pretty so we'll see how I react to it. Usually I'm a lot more positive about these books than a lot of people, because I'm just happy that we have more than one awesome Dune book that we can read. So I'll take what I can get, and that'll be my plan, is to read Walls of Light and Shadow book 1 and then Dune book 5. And then I want to continue the Rainwild Chronicles. So I'll be beginning book 2. I hope I'm holding book 2. But this is The Dragon Haven. If you want to know my thoughts on the first book, I have my review pretty recently. I did that back in, I think, Tuesday of last week. But I was pretty disappointed about book 1. I enjoyed it for what it was. But I really want to go back to like live ship traders, like Arrow of Robin Hobb. I think that was when she was at her best. Tawny Man, I was a little disappointed by book 1, but I loved books 2 and 3. My book 3 review I took down, actually, because I ended up crying on camera, and I thought it was kind of cute and authentic. And recently I've just hated that, so I took it down. I may re-edit it and put it back up, but I don't know. I don't know. But I will be reading book 2 here soon, and I'm very excited for that. But I don't know. I really want to go back to Fitz and those characters, the Fool. But got to get through the dragons first. I'm very curious what the series will end with, because there's a lot of dragon stuff going on in this book, and I know that the series as a whole is all about the history of dragons and bringing dragons back into the world, and I love that shit. But I don't know, a lot of these characters in this series especially, I just don't care for. I don't have much connection to them, or I'm not as invested into the characters as I am with Live Ship Traders, or even Tawny Man with Fitz and the Fool. But I'm really excited to continue that and sort of see where the series goes. But I also have, and this is one that I think I will be getting to this month. I've been planning it for a long time, but I really want to start my reread of Malazan. With Gardens of the Moon Book 1, I am trying to find Orb Scepter Throne by Ian Elsamont. That is book 4? Yeah, book 4 of his books, the novels of the Malazan Empire. I'm loving Malazan as a whole. I did not really care for Stonewielder. I moderately enjoyed some of the plot lines. Kiska's storyline I liked the most. But I don't know. I'm unable to find Orb Scepter Throne, so instead of just not reading Malazan, I'll just start my reread. Is sort of what my thinking is, and I'm very excited for this because I have so many people I can talk to about this. I have friends IOL who have read this. I have booktubers, Philip and everyone else who has read these books to talk to. And I'm just really excited to get back into the series because just opening this book and I'm seeing like names that I haven't read in a very long time. I'm just so excited. Malazan's one of my favorite series of all time, and it's no competition. So I'm really excited to get back into this because I didn't really do reviews at all for Malazan last year when I did all my reading for the series. I think I did a review on book 7, and then I did the rest of the series, 8 and 9 and 10, and then the Essamont books, but I didn't do the first 6 books, and that was because I was having a really shit year that year, and I decided to take a break from YouTube. That was a big mistake. That was stupid, because my mental health hasn't gotten any better since then. So I should have just been recording this entire time. But I'm really excited to get into Gardens of the Moon again, because there's so many questions that I have answered now, that now I can focus on all the things that I was confused about. Because there's a lot that I was confused about with Malazan on my first read. And even looking up answers, it's like there's so many details to keep track of. So I'm okay with not understanding 100% every read. I think that's the joy of rereading, is discovering new things every read. But if I don't get to that, if I don't get to Gardens of the Moon, I do want to read Steven Erikson's sci-fi novel, Willful Child, which is his take on Star Trek. I'm a big Star Trek original series fan, because that's what he's talked about the most, I believe. All those original movies and the original show. I think he's also a big TNG fan. I haven't watched it. One day I will, maybe in retirement. But I'm so excited to read this. I found it at my used bookstore just randomly, and I was like, hey, I'll read this one day, and maybe that day will be this month. So, and the last book that I doubt I will get to, but another YouTuber by the name of Talking Story, they are doing a buddy read on this series, and I want to get in on that, because this is a series I've had on the shelf for a very long time, like 2 or 3 years. I've just had it. But I have it because I found it for $4, and it's the entire Long Price Quartet by Daniel Abraham, who is the one half of the James S.A. Corey author who wrote the Expanse novels. But Talking Story is doing a buddy read on the series starting in June. So since I'm part of the Discord, I want to kind of be part of that, because I haven't really done any buddy reads on my channel in the 4 years that I've been here. But this will be one that I think is really fun because it's very political. George R. R. Martin is a big fan. I'm big fan of George R. R. Martin. I don't talk about him that much because there's no books coming out. But this should be my jam. I'm a big political fan. I think politics is very fascinating. So this will be a really fun read. I hope it's good, but if not, that's okay, because I can just not read the rest of it. Because this is 4 novellas in one book, so $4, like, that is a pretty damn good deal. But I think that's really all I have planned for this month. I don't really like to do TBRs, as I said in the beginning, but I think this month will be really exciting because it's kind of hitting all my favorite authors. Frank Herbert, Robin Hobb, Janny Wurts will be a new one, Stephen Erikson, who else? Daniel Abraham. I'm a big Expanse fan. Not as big as other series that I've enjoyed, but big fan of Expanse. But thank you all so much for watching, and please have a great rest of the weekend.